Hey everyone, Mac here, and we are going to learn how to multiply, numbers with radicals. And how does that all work? Okay, well, I'm going to show you. But before we do, just a reminder: this is version A, so this is the first one I've been showing with you. I'll have a B and a C, and I do have a video of me working this out on a whiteboard. If you haven't found those, you can go to maxtutorials.com. And everything I do with these radical signs is in chapter 8. Okay, so look through there, and I sequence it up really nicely. So there might be some things you need to know before this, so make sure you look. All right, and of course, liking and subscribing is very helpful to me. Okay, so when we're multiplying radicals, here's what you need to know. Multiply the outies and keep them out. Multiply the innies and keep them in. That's really all you do, okay? Now, there's more to it. You have to then look to see if you can simplify. Can I break down to 6? Well, that's just 3 and 2. I can't pull out a pair. So I know this one is done, okay? But some of them can get a little bit nasty. So let's keep working and see how this goes. Okay, number 2, multiply the outies, multiply the innies. Okay, now I know the factors of 35 is 5 and 7 because I just did it, and I know they don't break down anymore, so I'm done. Okay, now watch this one, though. I'm going to multiply the outies, 30. And if I multiply the innies, I get square root of 4. But what is square root of 4? It's just 2, isn't it? So if I pull a 2 out and there's already something out there, you multiply it. Okay, so this is going to be 60, done. There is no more square root because I pulled it out and made it a 2. Okay? Let's keep going on. Now, on number 4, I can tell there's going to be more to do because the 6 is a 2 times 3, and there's going to be a 3. That's okay. Let's just do the multiplication, though. Outies is 12. The innies is square root of 18, but I've got to break that down to 9 times 2, break him down into 3 times 3. Okay, sorry I wrote so small there. I shouldn't have. I can just zoom in. Okay, it's like magic. Now I've got a pair of 3s, and if I pull out a pair of 3s, you write it out in front like that. That's going to become 36 square root of, well, what's left over? That 2. Done. Okay, let's keep going. Multiply the outies, and I get 10. Multiply the innies, and I get square root of 49. Well, that's just 7. So my answer is 70 when I pull the 7 out and times it by the 10. Let's do this one. This is going to be 8. That's like a 1 out in front, okay? Square root of, well, 5 times 15. I know I'm going to have to break that down. So instead of me writing down what that is, why don't I just do this? Okay, I'm going to circle the 5, make him be 3 times 5, and I'm going to pull out a 5. When I pull out a 5, that's going to make this 40 square root of what's left over? 3. Okay? Let's go to number 7. Do the outies. That's the easy part, right? And then we're going to go square root of, well, instead of writing square root of 50, what if I write square root of 10 times 5? Because that's what this is, the square root of 10 times square root of 5, right? Circle, 2 times 5, die. So there's my pair. So I'm going to pull a 5 out. 5 times 12 is 60 root 2. Now, going on to number 8, multiply the outies, multiply the innies. Well, that's just 11 times 11. I don't need to write it all out and go 121. I could, but I know that I'm going to pull now an 11 out. So I'm going to go 10 times 11. Does anybody know what that is? 110 on the nose. Okay? Let's go on here to the next one, number 9. Let's multiply the outies, 10. Let's multiply the innies. I'm going to write it as 6 times 3, and him is 3 times 2. And then there's my pair, and I'm going to end up getting, when I multiply it by the 10, 30 root what's left over? The 2. And again, if the simplifying radicals, if that's the part that you're having trouble with, I have a whole nother video at maxtutorials.com where you can work on how I do this step right there, okay? So I assume you already know that because I've already done a video on that. So learn math in sequence, and it's going to really help because one thing always leads to another. Okay, instead of multiplying, I'm just going to write it like this. And do I have a pair? Boom, right there. I'm going to bring it out here, and that's going to give me 60 root what's left over? The 2. All right, let's go to 11. Multiply the outies, multiply the innies, and I'm going to write it like this, 15 times 5. I'm not going to actually multiply it out because I know that I'm going to get a pair of 5s out of it. Boom, boom. When I take my pair of 5s out, I'm going to get 30 root 3. Okay? Number 12, let's multiply my outies, and I get 14. Let's multiply my innies. Well, I could go square root of 28, but I know that once I do that, I'm going to break it down into this anyway, so let's just start there. That's going to be 7 times 2. That's a 7. Okay, and I'm going to circle, and I'm going to circle, boom, boom, and I'm going to pull a 2 out. And once I do that, I'm going to get 28. Who's left over? The 7 is left over. Okay, let's do 13. I'm going to multiply my outies, and my innies is going to be 12 times 3. Oops. And this is going to be 4 times 3. And I know that my 4 is going to be a 2 times 2. So now I can pull out a 2. I can pull out a 3. See, if you notice, 3 times 12 is 36. I probably should have just done it there, and I would have saw it quicker. Okay, and so this right here, I'm just going to multiply the outies. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and I have nothing left inside. Everything came out. Number 14, I'm going to multiply my outies. 20. Let's multiply my innies. This time I am going to multiply it because I get square root of 16. I know square root of 16 is 4, normal everyday 4. So I'm just going to pop a 4 out, and I'm just going to call my answer 80. Okay? Number 15, I'm going to multiply my outies to get 12. And my innies, I am going to multiply it together. Now, you don't have to. You could break down to 27 if you like. Okay, but I can know that 3 times 27 is 81, and my brain knows that the square root of 81 is 9. So it's really just going to be 12 times 9 when it's all said and done, which is 108. Okay? Last one. 3 times 2. I'm going to do my outies, which is 6. My innies, that's going to be a nasty number that I don't want to think about. So I'm just going to do that, if you don't mind. I know that 8 is 2 times 2 times 2 because I've memorized now that 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, and 18 is going to be 9 times 2. And 9 is going to be 3 times 3. And so I can pull out a 3. I can pull out a 2. I can pull out another 2. Everybody got pulled out. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 6 is 72. And I am done. Okay? So what would that 3, 6... Oh, I would have got a 144 on that. Okay, anyways. There you go. So that right there is how you do it. Literally all you do is you multiply the outies, you multiply the innies, and then you simplify down. Okay, and so that you don't have really big numbers, you saw a couple tricks that I would do. Well, that's version A. I'd love to see you on version B and version C. So hang in there, keep up the good work, and I'll see you on the next one.